All right, welcome back to the continuation of our last video. So, in our last video, we kind of stopped off what you're looking at here. I did fix it up just a little bit and close the gap. Um, so, in this area here on the left hand side, we have different containers: senior manager, manager, team lead, and I think in our last video we put each one on top of each other and then we hit it. So, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I did. Right now I have it showing. So what I did was I have this formula in here on the visible property of each one. So if the item request status is equal to awaiting team lead, then it'll show the team lead container with the form. And then for the manager, same concept. If it's awaiting manager approval, show it. And then for the next, so same concept for each one. So I think that's kind of where I left off in the last video. So now let's go and check out our workflow, what I did in the workflow. So go back, leave. Now I want to also apologize. I had said in my last video that I would also publish this one, but some things with work came up, and at one point I wasn't feeling too well. So, but that's okay because I have this video. I'm going to be pushing it out today. All right, so here is, I'm in my solution. I'm going to go to Cloud Flows, and here's the workflow that I've already created. So let me come here, click on Edit. So even though I've already built it, it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you each one of these, what I did, and then give you a demo of how it works. So here we have, of course, my solution, my environment variables for the site in the library. And I'm using the when an item or file is modified trigger. So now what this workflow is going to be doing is checking to see if any of the approvers have approved or rejected. So in order for me to do that, I need this right here, get changes for an item or file. So this is basically checking the properties. So I have the site address list, and then I have the ID of this. So it gives me the ID of what's being modified, the item being modified. And then I have this trigger window start token. And so this basically triggers when an item is changed on the version. So don't forget to have the version of your list turned on. So here's the versioning. So see how I have create version each time an item is, yeah, so that's what you need to be turned on. Okay. And then I have this scope here. And then the reason I'm using a scope, I mean, there's no real functionality to it. It's just a way to organize your workflow. If I didn't have the scope, if you can look at this, see how long this would be. So if you imagine if you had a lot of these rectangles, it would be just super long and kind of hard to manage. But I have this scope, and in my scope, the purpose of it is just I'm going to be getting the email of everyone that's in the manager group. So I have this method to get. This is the name of the manager group, SharePoint manager group, and then I parse the JSON of that, and it loops through, grabs the emails, and then I use the join here to join all the emails, and with the semicolon, delimited with a semicolon. Now, there's another way to do this as well. It's probably much quicker. So if you just do join, you can use this. You can use the join data operation. Now, so I put all of this in the manager scope, and so I do the same thing in the senior manager scope, and all I'm doing is just getting the email that's part of the SharePoint group, the senior manager SharePoint group. Okay, so now I come down here, and then I have this has column team lead status change. You know, now if it has changed, it's a Boolean, and the only reason why I'm seeing this has column is because of this action right here. So if the team lead has made a change to that team lead status column, then it'll come in here. It'll branch to this yes. And then I check the team lead if it's equal to approved, because it can either be approved or rejected. So if it's approved, then it sends an email out. So we add in the to field, this email up here, the manager, and here's the HTML. Now I want to show you in another video, outside of this series, I want to show you a better way to do this. I just wanted to keep it simple. And if it's a rejected, if it's a no, where it's not approved, then it comes here. But I also still got to check to see if it's rejected. Okay. Now, just to let you know, if we didn't have this properties here, it'll just give you an infinite loop, because whenever there's a change, it'll just start to loop. You know, because if once you make a change, it sees that change as being modified, and it just loops, and it just goes into some type of infinite loop. So that's what I do for this check lead status, and I do the same thing for the manager, same concept, and for the senior manager. Except for the senior manager, when I send the email, it's just the final email saying, hey, your travel request has been approved, and it sends it back to whoever created it. So that's how that works. All right, let me save. It's already saved, so I didn't make any changes. So now let's go test this out. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to click on new request. And let's just enter in something here. Well, let me enter something real. So let's say conference. And I'm going to say Dubai. And I'm going to say training. Let's put in the dates here. And Emirates Hotel. I'm not sure if I spelled that right. I don't even know if that's a real hotel. I'm just guessing. Submit. Okay. So I've submitted. Let's wait for the email. All right, the email came in. So here's our email. So team lead, please review the following request, and click here to review and approve. So I'm going to click here. And then I can say, okay, you are approved. Please pick a cheaper location next time. So it's approved. I'm going to click approve. So now the manager should get an email. So let's wait and see. All right, so the email has come in. So here's our awaiting manager approval. Manager, please review. And you can make your email much nicer than this, but this is just for example purposes. And I'm going to come in here and click. And as you can see, this part is read only. That's what the comment is from the team lead. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say approved. Okay. I need to change this to the property of this to multi-line. That's why it's in the middle. But let's click approve. Now the senior manager is going to get an email, and let's wait for that. All right, the other email has come in, the third one. Awaiting senior manager approval. Senior manager, please review. These are the details. So the senior manager looks at this and then comes in here. And so there's a comment for the the team lead, and then the manager, and then the senior manager can say approved. And then approve. And then let's wait for, so now the person who requested the travel request is going to get an email. Let's wait for that. All right, here's our last email. So travel request approved. Your travel request has been approved. So I hope you all can see how that workflow works. There's many different ways that you can do it. That was just the way that I chose to do it. I've done this several different ways as well. So, but that's how far we've gotten. So I have one last video to show you that I'm going to create, and it is the list page, a place where the admin can see the list of different approvers. You know, maybe they don't want to go into an email. They can also go through the Power Apps as well. So that's the last video, and I'll probably have both of these out next week. I'll have this one out on Monday for sure, and then the other one probably sometime next week. I actually want to post this today since I missed it. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Please like the video and share the video. If you have any questions about the content, please leave your comments, provide feedback. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Bye.